What is the most interesting storyline heading into Minneapolis, Nate?
For me, the most interesting storyline is what Peter just touched on. It's Tom Brady chasing greatness. And, you know, for most people to say, well, if he gets there and he doesn't win, I'm going to give him a knock. I hate when people have that philosophy and thinking. They knock LeBron James for making it to the finals, but he brings his team to the point where they're at the brink of being immortalized that season. So I'm looking at Tom, and not only is he chasing greatness within the sport, but he's chasing greatness outside the lines of football. And I got to be honest with you. I've never looked at Tom Brady as one of the best athletes of all time. I've always said he's one of the best sports figures
of all time. He's not Bo Jackson. We're not talking about skills. We're talking about grandeur.
I know, grandeur, but him winning this, though, now all of a sudden I have to rethink that, and I will consider him an athlete because now the definition of an athlete has changed. Me being a guy who's always ran fast and jumped high and did these fantastic things in all three sports, I looked at myself as an athlete. But he's redefining that. And
so
if he goes out there and wins.
5 rings to 6 rings? I don't get it. What's the changer here?
Because he's already passed up a great, we thought the GOAT was in the quarterback position, which is Joe Montana. Now you're chasing a great, which is who I think is the best athlete ever, Michael Jordan.
Ali.
Ali. Now I'm looking at him as the best athlete. Yeah, he might not run a 4.4. He's not going to jump a 45-inch vertical. But because of what he does and never been a threat to run, he could go down as the best athlete of all time.
My storyline is on the other side. It's the Eagles. And Kay, you kind of touched on the turnaround that they've had as far as the roster. But I look at specifically that front office. And about 4 years ago, Chip Kelly was hired. Chip Kelly came in. He was this innovative mind from the University of Oregon. And he looked at Howie Roseman, the GM, and said, no, I'm going to pick the players. You go deal with the business side of things. Pushed Howie to the side. Howie stayed there in Philadelphia. Eventually, Chip burns out with the players. He's fired. Howie says, I'm coming back as GM. I'm coming back as the EVP. This is the perfect ending to that whole cycle here for Howie Roseman and the Eagles front office because all of these guys were pushed to the side, and now they're going to come back and say, we built the Super Bowl champion, and we did it ourselves. You know, Chip Kelly's responsible for getting rid of LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, a lot of those guys. The Eagles front office had to rebuild that team, and they're doing it, and they're at the Super Bowl so quickly. It's an amazing story.
It is amazing. We have 12 days to talk about Eagles-Patriots. I'm just going to go one more time on this. Imagine you're the Vikings, all right? Imagine you're the Vikings, and you buy a huge, expensive house. You design the whole thing as perfect, and you're going to have this massive house party, and you got the music and the food, and everybody's coming, and you're so excited.
Well, Smokies.
Everything. And you cannot imagine everything you could ever want. Greatest house party ever. And then 2 weeks before the party, your wife leaves you, your kids leave you, your rival who lives down the street takes them from you and is then having the party in your house. They're sleeping in your bed. They're not sleeping in your bed. They're with your kids. They're with everything. And you got to sit there and just watch, knock, and be like, no, you can't come in. The Vikings storyline is crazy.
You are such a sadist. I feel like you enjoy this a little bit.
I don't know how you got that idea.
Ricky Bobby, isn't that what happened to Ricky Bobby?
Yes, the excellence up there.
Old Ricky Bobby.
Always, sure. Amazing. I feel for those people.
The popular storyline is the David versus Goliath thing, but back to the Brady, and you brought this up on Whiteboard Wednesday with motivation. Like, what's actually motivating? Is it tying the Steelers with 6? Is it maybe winning this year? And then is he going to come back next year because he wants to do 3 in a row, and he thinks he'll be the only quarterback to ever do that? You know, it's that.
I think he's just trying to get a nice cushion because Garoppolo's going to win 7. So he's just trying to get as many as he can. Right?
I got you.